Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today I am showing you a really exciting new supporter card, which is going to be coming out in Dragonstorm in Japan. So I suppose that means it's probably coming out in our Sun and Moon 7 set, our August set, though there is no guarantee of this. It is Zinnia. Zinnia is a dragon trainer in the video games, and Zinnia is a card that is going to be amazing for any dragon decks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much the card that we've been waiting for. Now, our translation does come from the lovely David Hochmann over at LimitlessTCG.com, and it says that if a Pokemon was KO'd during your opponent's last turn, you can attach 2 energy, up to 2 basic energy, only basic, from your hand to one of your dragon Pokemon. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely phenomenal. You see, the thing is, these dragon Pokemon often tend to have very awkward attack costs. Check out this Kommo-o, for instance. Well, that's not easy. Think about the Dragonite, on which we made a video just a little while ago. And this Dragonite has lightning and water energy in the attack cost. Well, that's a bit of a pain. And maybe White Kyurem GX. We're going to be looking at this in our next video. But White Kyurem GX uses a combination of fire and water energy. And this all goes to say, quite simply, that this is awkward. So we had Double Dragon Energy for a while, and we still do in the expanded format. And Double Dragon Energy is 2 of any energy when attached to a dragon Pokemon. Now, it is at risk of something like Enhanced Hammer, which is a bit of an issue, but it actually makes these dragon Pokemon viable. Well, then it went away. So now we don't have that anymore. We need a way to get extra energy onto these dragon Pokemon. Zinnia might be it. Now, of course, we still need to mention here that you've still got to be playing a mixture of energy. So a Dragonite deck is still going to have to play a mixture of water and lightning energy. And because Zinnia attaches from the hand, not the deck, you are going to have to draw into the right energy at the right time. This could be a little bit of an issue, especially as in a Dragonite deck, you want to be playing predominantly lightning energy, because that's what the first attack uses, and then just a few water energy here. Now, I suppose at this stage I should mention that maybe there are things we can do here. You could play a Professor's Letter to go and get the energy. Or maybe you play something like a Lady. Lady is going to be coming later on. It basically lets you take 4 basic energy from your deck and put them into your hand. Do remember, though, that Zinnia is a supporter and Lady is a supporter. So you're probably not going to want to be playing Lady one turn and then Zinnia the next. That's a little bit awkward. It's not particularly ideal. But maybe you even play something like a Rabombi here, because Rabombi allows you to search your deck for 2 energy, put them into your hand. One of the best uses of this is going to be for Dialga GX, because it helps you get the Timeless GX going much, much faster. And of course, Dialga is going to have Mount Coronet, so this is going to be ridiculously good for something like Dialga, because you can use Mount Coronet to get the energy and then immediately attach them. Although, having said that, Dialga decks are generally going to be played with Magnezone, which will allow you to attach as many metal energy as you like during your turn. Now, a quick ruling query here. It is if you had a Pokemon KO'd during your opponent's last turn. So if your opponent gets a KO using Burn or Poison, that will actually take a KO between turns, and you will not be able to use Zinnia the following turn. In that response, it's very much like Teammates, which cannot be used if your opponent takes a KO with Poison. But if your opponent were to use something like a Decidueye GX, for instance, taking a KO with an ability, then you would be able to go and use this because your opponent took a KO during their previous turn. It doesn't say that it has to be done with damage. Now, you will need to have a Pokemon KO'd here, so think about having a starter Pokemon. Think about using something like a Alolan Vulpix, so you can use the excellent Beacon attack here, for 0 energy to search for any 2 Pokemon. And you can be searching for Pokemon and evolving up and getting your board set up. As soon as your opponent takes a KO, you can start using Zinnia here to accelerate energy. Or you could use something like a Volcanion, attaching energy from your discard, using Power Heater, and then when your opponent takes a KO, then Zinnia is back on the table. Of course, this is your only supporter for the turn. Supporter cards are 1 per turn, so which means if you're using this to attach energy, you're not using it to draw cards. And that's a bit of an issue, of course, because in order to use Zinnia, you are going to have those cards in your hand, because you attach from the hand, you don't attach from the deck. So you're going to need to be drawing cards, but you're not going to be able to draw that many cards because you're using Zinnia as your only supporter for the turn. You're not going to be playing something like a Cynthia, for instance. So if you're playing this, you really do need something like Octillery or Zoroark GX, for instance. You're going to need some non-supporter draw so that you can continue to draw into your Pokemon, your energy, etc. Although, like I've said, do consider using something like Rabombi here so that you can always have the energy in your hand every turn. And given that it is a supporter, we do need to give a shout out here to Tapu Lele. That is a card that just makes cards like this more viable. Before Tapu Lele, we'd be sitting here going, well, it's good, but you kind of got to play 4 of them so you draw into it when you like, but then you're going to be drawing into it early game or when you don't want to draw into it, and it all gets awkward. Tapu Lele means you can get it whenever you want using Wonder Tag. Of course, you might want more than 2 or 3 of these during a game, and that means that you want to be able to recover them, and we do have some good ways of recovering these supporters. Now, in Expanded, it's nice and simple. You play Versus Seeker, that card's broken. Outside of Expanded, it gets a little bit more awkward. We've got Lusamine, but that's already your supporter for the turn, so you can use Lusamine to recover Zinnia, but then you can't play it. You've got Palpad, which allows you to shuffle those supporters back into your deck, but you've then got to draw into it before you can use it. Then again, maybe you're playing something like Octillery, you play a Palpad, use Abyssal Hand, and then you do draw into it. That is possible. The best one here is Puzzle of Time. Puzzle of Time, you get 2 cards, any cards, not just supporters, from your discard into your hand, and you can use them straight away. But you've got to have 2 Puzzle of Time in your hand at the same time, which is a little bit of an issue here. Although things like Puzzle of Time will be able to recover any card, and even something like Palpad, it's not just for Zinnia, you could use it to recover something like a Guzma or a Cynthia, which would, just generally be good for running your deck as a whole. But the fact of the matter is, this card is amazing because it gives you options for Dragon Pokemon that you didn't have before. Take a card like Dragonite GX. I know I've just done a video of it, I'll drop a link in the description, but I love Dragonite GX. I think it's a great card with a really awkward attack cost. First attack, 1 energy, fine. Second attack, water, lightning, double. No! That's not very easy, ladies and gentlemen. But here, in a single turn, you play double colourless, you play Zinnia as long as you've got a lightning and a water energy in your hand, and then all of a sudden you've got Dragonite from 0 energy to 4 energy in a single turn. You can actually play a max potion here and still get 4 energy on a Dragonite straight away. Even if you're in Expanded or you go back a bit, you couldn't attach a double dragon and a double colourless in 1 turn. That wasn't an option. Now you actually can, effectively, using Zinnia, which is absolutely great. Think about something like White Kyurem GX. We love the GX attack, we love the second attack, but look at the attack cost there. Well, a Zinnia and a basic energy, and you've got all the energy you need for that second attack there. It really does take these cards that wouldn't be viable and makes them viable. It's that good. Kiawe takes a card like Ho-Oh that you wouldn't usually be able to play and makes it viable. Aqua Patch and Brooklet Hill take water decks from alright and makes them much better by giving you these options. That is the level we're looking at here with Zinnia. Now, if Zinnia attached from the deck, I'd be giving it a 5 Wassies. But it doesn't. It attaches from the hand. And there are going to be a bunch of turns here where you have Zinnia but you don't have the energy, or you have the energy but you don't have Zinnia. For that reason, I'm giving Zinnia 4 Wassies, because there's going to be turns you want to play it but can't because you don't have the energy in your hand. But let's be clear about this. It allows 2 extra energy to your dragon Pokemon every turn, and actually means that you can realistically play dragon Pokemon again in a way that you haven't been able to since Double Dragon Energy. You gotta have the energy in your hand? Fine. You still gotta play an awkward energy line? Fine. The reality is, this makes it viable in a way it hasn't been for a while. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a great card that is going to make Dragon Pokemon significantly better. But if you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, either's fine. That's what the comment section is there for. Go nuts! But be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, you can do so by going to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves. Until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.